Oh, yes. We're having problems already. Having problems already. Give me a second. All right. Sorry for that microphone noise, y'all. Well, good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on and what time zone you are in. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this TikTok. If it starts giving me problems, I'm just going to shut it down. I'm not in the mood to deal with their shenanigans. So, here we go. Let's get the introduction started right. And we'll turn it down ever so slightly. It's okay to be in the background. I just don't want it overpowering. Well, good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on and what time zone you are in. It's been great. Been a great week. Been a great week for MAGA, hasn't it? I mean, it's just one thing after another. You know, they were so hot to trot for those files, weren't they? They love them files. Yes, Donald Trump's gonna release those Epstein files. I'm gonna have to mispronounce it on purpose just so we don't get hit by the algorithm. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But that's the world we live in. Loving it, loving it, loving it. But yeah, we have a lot to talk about. So besides the e-files not being released, because of course they're not. I mean, Donald Trump is all over those e-files. How in the world would we expect those files to be released to us? How did we think that was going to go? It just wasn't. We knew it wasn't going to happen. You know, because his name is all over them, just like when we investigated during the, I don't know, was it 2013, 2014? There was an investigation into the Russian interference in our election, and Donald Trump's name kept popping up because oftentimes he was on calls or in communication with Russian assets. So people are like, oh, you're just bugging. You were bugging Mar-a-Lago. You were bugging the Trump Tower. You were doing this. You were doing that. It's like, no, we didn't have to. Trump Tower didn't have to be bugged. That's the shame of it is he was in constant communication. He was conversing with these people. So, yeah, his name kept popping up all over the place. Thank you so much for checking. Sweet Pea. How's the sound everywhere else? Yep, thank you. I see you on Twitch, Instagram. According to Instagram is currently experiencing a platform-wide issue with RTMP streaming, effective third-party streaming services. The issue seems to be impacting users differently based on their locations. Our team is in touch. Okay. Could you double check on Instagram to see if we're still live there? That would be great. I think we are. Why is that? That's crazy. Okay. That's all right. We'll just keep going. That's not a problem. But yeah. So yeah, if you're listening, please share the live. Please keep tapping that screen. We appreciate it. We appreciate all that screen tapping. All that screen tapping. Well, we're trying to. I can't say. Yeah. Yeah. The TikTok is the killer, isn't it not? Crazy. That's okay. We're not going to worry about it. But yes, I'm going to be definitely hydrated for this show. But we're going to keep monitoring the situation. If it keeps getting out of hand, we'll just keep going with YouTube. So we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, of course. Thank you so much for joining us. Wow. The files are not being released, but before we do that, we're gonna play a little audio. We're gonna play a little audio. Let's see here. What should I start with? Oh, there's so much to do, so much we could do. Oh, I could talk about Greg Abbott, but I don't want to talk about him. Let's see, media source. Oh, yeah, that's about the flooding. Kure County is just, it's in terrible shape. Let's see.
Hey,
what are they hiding? We can talk about what was it? Alligator Auschwitz. Oh my God. Oh yeah, we have to talk about the Jennifer Love Hewitt unwashed ass opinions. Oh, you want to talk about Labubu's? No, we won't talk about that. But oh, Epstein 15. Why not? So somebody made a comment on it looks like X. Somebody made a comment. It shows a picture of Trump giving a speech, and then the angelic ghost of Epstein holding his hand above Trump. It says, according to the Book of Epstein, chapter 15, Book of Lolita, we quote, "You will be persecuted, you will be scorned. Have faith in your friends, for they too are P3POs." Also known as pedophiles. Man, I hate this TikTok language. Unbelievable. Yeah. So the block list. Remember when the Republicans ran on, we're going to release the Epstein files, we're going to release them, and everyone's going to know who was involved. Turns out, according to the Virginia Fox, North Carolina, her and 7 other Republicans voted no. There was one Republican who voted yes the first time, and then on the second round of voting, voted no. The 6 Republicans on the House Rules Committee who voted to block the release of the Epstein files. We're going to play the audio of that because I definitely want to play. I want you to get a little inside baseball of how this works. Nancy Mace says, who sleeps better knowing that Donald J. Trump is in charge? And then Philip Anderson says, oh, the pedophiles on the Epstein list. They're the ones who are sleeping well. They are definitely sleeping good. You better know it. Let's get a little dose of reality. We haven't heard from Kenny Too Raw Too Real. Yeah, let's go ahead and...
Child, apparently immigrants and citizens alike are gonna have to fight for their life. We have to play hide and go seek with ICE, and there ain't gonna be no ollie ollie oxen free under DT. Jesus, you just gonna have to hide me. So a few days ago, Congressman Maxwell Frost pulled up on that ass and went to Alligator Alcatraz. When he went in, he reported on the inhumane conditions, but on his way out, he heard one of the detainees say, "Wait, I'm an American citizen."
They let us in to see the cages, and we saw people, of course, yelling for help. We even heard in the background someone yell, "I'm an American citizen." They started chanting "Libertad," freedom, liberty.
And you know what, bitch? I believe it, because this isn't the fucking first time they done snatched up an American citizen, profiling based off of phenotype and skin complexion. But on top of that, the conditions that they have these human beings in is disgusting. The same place they piss and shit in, they have to get their fucking water from. And Trump, I would love to see you go to Alligator Alcatraz and get you a nice, good motherfucking cup. I want to see your ass drink it. I want you to drink it up like drinking champagne 1976. I had a motherfucking hit. And there have also been reports that the sandwiches that they are serving are maggot infested. I don't even think Ryan Murphy could come up with some shit like this. I want to see you eat it.
Eat the sandwich. I made it for you.
I'll eat it later.
I want to see you try it. See if you like it. Eat it.
Regardless of where the fuck you stand on immigration, these are human beings, and apparently even U.S. citizens. This is inhumane. Have a sense of humanity. Everybody should be outraged at the Trump administration and the treatment of these human beings.
I mean, they tried warning us, didn't they? They tried warning us, and the more you look into it, the more horrific it gets. And people are okay with this. This is what aggravates me more. People are okay that this is happening because they think this is happening to violent criminals. There are no violent criminals in the Alligator Alcatraz. By the way, that is an actual name that they went with. It almost sounds like somebody's making fun of it, or it's a spoof, or it's like someone's trying to parody it. That is the name they went with. And the moron that went with it, I wish, let me see if I can pull up his face. Let me see if I still have it. Athletic code, FEMA defunded, Care County flooding. No, I don't think so. Block list, nope. It's not here. Where is it? Ugh. Yeah, I guess not. Guess I don't have it. But anyway, he's on one of my, I think he's on one of my graphics that I have on Alcatraz. Let me see. Do I have that? Let's see if I can pull it up. I guess not. Okay. Yeah, it's an Alligator Auschwitz. Maybe I just deleted it. Okay. That's too bad. I'm not going to worry about it. So, yeah. So the guy that was behind the Alligator Auschwitz, we did a whole video. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see the video we did. So if you go to YouTube, Skeptically Speaking, you'll see the expose we did on the person who did basically he's the brainchild of the Alligator Auschwitz, and they're planning on opening up multiple Alligator Auschwitz style concentration camps, I guess you can call them. So they're looking for they're looking for abandoned airports, like old airports that have just been abandoned. They're no longer in use. They're no longer in vogue or whatever. And they're trying to take those over and use those for holding cells. They always want a landing strip there so that they can fly inmates across the country. But it's just a sick, twisted ideology that gets you to that point. And he also did, so the guy who is behind that, he did pro bono work for the Heritage Foundation. Yes, he did. Let me see if I can find that. I just want its name. Let's see here. Find the chat. I just want to see the name. Nope, that's not it. Let's see. Cruelty for money. That was the background theme that we did. Money for cruelty, cruelty for money. No, that's not it. Not that one. No. Nope, not that one. Let's see if I can pull it up on mine. But yeah, he has a very forgettable face and a very forgettable name. That's why I just don't have it. Let me see if I can find it. Scrolling. Give me a minute. Ah, there it is. Money for cruelty. Let's post that. Let's see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I can get his name. James William Uthmeyer. James William Uthmeyer. Ugh. And the fact that it is a German name is almost right on point. It's like too far. It's on the nose, on point, and it's gross. I wish I had. Money for cruelty. There it is. Let me see if I can pull it up. There it is. James William Uthmeyer. And I'll even pull it up on, let's see, pull it up on TikTok. What a disgusting piece of garbage. Yeah, sorry if I disparaged garbage. I did not mean to do that. There he is. Money for cruelty. That's what that freak looks like. Yeah, ICE is the new Gestapo, and I said what I said. I am not going to back down from that. And this is who we have running our country. This is who we have running our country today. And it's pretty gross. Disgusting. And so that's... Yeah, so we're going to go back to Kenny from Too Raw to Real. By the way, if you have not subscribed to Kenny Too Raw to Real, then what are you doing with your life? All right.
Girl, get into this tea. Apparently, Democrats are giving Republicans hell about these Epstein files, so much so that Republicans are even calling to start their August recess early. This is what we want to see. Because remember, Pam Bondi said she had the files on her desk and now they're gone. So no, ma'am, Pam, we need them files in our hand. And it's just weird to me, the Republican Party, the GOP, the party of morality, is so scared about transparency for the people. Like, y'all are either covering this up or y'all made it up. Either way, this ain't going away. And the Democratic Party is on your ass and not stopping for gas. But come on, let's be raw and real for a minute. But what did we expect from this party? The same party that rallied behind somebody who was liable for sexual abuse and is a felon. This is the same party that claims they want to protect children from pedophiles but don't want to vote to release the Epstein files. This is the same party whose even base is calling them out on their bullshit. And right now, they're trying to run and hide. But it's okay. Keep running. It won't stop Democrats from coming.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? They are so petrified with what this bombshell is going to do, and it's going to do a lot of harm. It's going to do a lot of harm when this happens. It's unbelievable. Even MAGA is not having any of this mess. They're not. They're sick and tired of. They are so brainwashed in the cult. They are so twisted that even the conspiracy theories that they were told, oh, is going to happen. We're going to reveal. We're going to get rid of the deep state. We're going to reveal all of it. Nope. None of it. None of it is happening. None of it's going to get released, and they're just going to waffle. They're going to waffle in their insane anger, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. Unstable connection. Here it goes. Here it goes again. All right, let's do another Kenny. Too raw, too real.
See, this is what happens when you choose the sexual assaulter over the prosecutor. So yesterday, Congressman O'Connor introduced an amendment that would require the Department of Justice, which is led by Pam Bondi, whose name unironically rhymes with Ted Bundy, to release the Epstein files within 30 days if the bill became law.
The Speaker's Rules Committee should demand a vote tomorrow of every member of Congress. Yes, we should release it, or no, we should not.
But apparently, the House subcommittee wasn't having it, and all but one Republican voted to block it. But here's the tea about that one man on the subcommittee who voted yes to release the Epstein files. You know you in some deep shit when a man like Ralph Norman voted to release that shit. Are y'all ready to hear it? Child, let's spell it. So Norman has a 98% lifetime score with Heritage Action, which is nothing but a lobbying arm of the Heritage Foundation, the same Heritage Foundation that wrote Project 2025. And he was also ranked #1 as the most conservative representative in the U.S. 117th Congress. When you don't have the most conservative man like Norman on your side, what you really trying to hide? Baby, the choice was easy. If we had elected VP into the presidency, she would have spilled all the tea. Because one thing she's always prioritized was protecting people and putting pedos in the penitentiary.
You see, when I was in high school, I started to notice something about my best friend, Wanda. She was sad at school, and there were times she didn't want to go home. So one day I asked if everything was all right, and she confided in me that she was being sexually abused by her stepfather. And I immediately told her she had to come stay with us, and she did. This is one of the reasons I became a prosecutor, to protect people like Wanda, because I believe everyone has a right to safety, to dignity, and to justice. When I had a case, I charged it not in the name of the victim, but in the name of the people. For a simple reason. In our system of justice, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us.
Amazing. This is who we could have had as president. This we could have had her. Instead, we're watching a bumbling fool who has no idea how government works, has no idea how anything works, blathers on stupidly about this, that, and the other thing. This is who we could have had. We wouldn't even be talking about Alligator Alcatraz. We wouldn't be talking about actual citizens being accosted because they sound too ethnic. Because remember, that is who they're stopping on the streets. That is who they're accosting. That is who they're putting up against the van wall. Okay? We see what they're doing. We see who they're going after. And you're listening to Donald Trump, who just speaks like an absolute moron, a complete and utter moron. And this is who we got to listen to. Now, okay, we're going to shut this down. Yeah, so obviously TikTok is just dead. I'm just going to restart. So sick of this shit. But yeah, we could have had an actual credible justice system. We could have had a DOJ who knows what the hell is going on. You know, but that's just what it is. You know, this is what we got to deal with. And it's just never ending. Never ending. But yeah. We got the midterms. At least we got that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Well, let's talk about the cowardly Republicans, because these are the people who voted against releasing the files. Let's hear from them, huh? Unbelievable. Oh, fucking real. I ain't having that. Okay, let's go ahead and post the cowardly Republicans.
To the rule, I move the committee make an order amendment number 50 to H.R. 3633 offered by Representative Khanna, which would require the Attorney General to preserve and release any records related to Jeffrey Epstein. Madam Chair, on February 21st, 2025, President Trump's own Attorney General, Pam Bondi, said on Fox News, the Epstein client list was sitting on her desk, quote, right now to review, end quote. Kash Patel, Trump's FBI director, said during his confirmation hearing that he would do everything, if confirmed, to make sure the American people knew, quote, the full weight of what happened, end quote. Patel, who now leads the FBI, said on the Benny Johnson show that the FBI was hiding the Epstein client list. Donald Trump Jr., the president's own son, tweeted out, and I quote, show us all the Epstein client list right now. Why would anyone protect those scumbags? Ask yourself this question, and then the answer becomes very apparent, end quote. And now, forgive me, but suddenly these same people are telling us there's nothing to see here. Trump is posting that we should all just move on. Well, I want to know what the hell is in these files. And I think we all want to know why Trump is suddenly changing his tune and is so desperate to sweep this under the rug. But you know what? This also gets at his credibility. This is about trust. Republicans said, trust us, vote for us, and we will release these files. And here we are. They are backtracking. They said they aren't going to cut Medicaid, and they did. They said they wouldn't add to the deficit and debt. They exploded both. They said that they stand with law enforcement. They won't even hang a plaque honoring officers for their heroism on January 6th. They talk about law and order and can't even condemn the president for pardoning the people who violently attacked the Capitol building. So please forgive me if I don't believe a word of any of it. This isn't about gotcha politics. It's about credibility, or rather the lack of credibility on the other side, because they constantly say one thing and do something else. So I urge a yes vote on my amendment, and I yield back.
Is there any further discussion on
Madam Chair, I fail to see how that amendment is germane to this rule.
And Madam Chair, we have the Rules Committee, and we routinely waive the rules of germaneness and make things in order.
This is about defense appropriations and crypto legislation.
Well, then you can vote on it.
Mr. Scott, unfortunately, it is germane. Is there any further discussion on the amendment?
Madam Chair.
Ms. Ledger-Fernandez, you're recognized.
Madam Chair, the Epstein files concern issues of abuse of women and abuse of children. You know, as the chair of the Democratic Women's Caucus, you often see me raising issues of we need to address this. And not only that, but Republicans and the MAGA world have said they want to know about this. Your constituents want to know. So the question is, why are they not just releasing them? And I think it's a simple thing to do. And you're going to be asked to vote whether you require the release. That's going to be a simple vote. Will you require the release? Is there anything that needs to be hidden? If there isn't, then just release the files. Silence those who would question it. So every Republican on this committee should be able to easily vote yes. And with that, Madam Chair, I yield back.
Thank you, Ms. Ledger-Fernandez. Any further discussion?
With Dutch Boy Professional Series, you get a paint partner that works hard for you, helping to grow.
Hearing none, the question's on the amendment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. The amendment's not agreed
Chair, I'm
to.
kind of shocked by that. I will ask for a roll call.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Fishbach. Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Norman. Mr. Norman, aye. Mr. Roy. Mrs. Houchin. Mrs. Houchin, no. Mr. Langworthy. Mr. Langworthy, no. Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott, no. Mr. Griffith. Mr. Griffith, no. Mr. Jack.
No.
Mr. Jack, no. Mr. McGovern.
Aye.
Mr. McGovern, aye. Ms. Scanlon. Ms. Scanlon, aye. Mr. Neguse. Yes. Mr. Neguse, aye. Ms. Ledger-Fernandez. Ms. Ledger-Fernandez, aye. Madam Chair.
No.
Madam Chair, no.
The clerk will report the total.
5 yeas, 7 nays.
The noes have it. The amendment is not agreed to. And I think most of us believe what's appropriate will be released when it is time for the president to release it.
Well, Madam-
Thank you.
Well, Madam Chair, I have another, and we'll try one more time at this. I don't have the same confidence you do. given the flip-flopping we've seen. I need a neck brace. I mean, they flip-flop so quickly and so rapidly. But I have another amendment to the rule. I move to add a new section to the rule which would provide for consideration of a resolution introduced by Representative Vesey, H.Res. 577, which affirms Congress's Article 1 authority to conduct oversight, demands that the Trump administration release the Epstein files, calls on the Department of Justice and FBI to submit a report on any delays, suppression, or destruction of evidence related to the files, and supports full transparency and access to these documents in the interest of justice and accountability. This resolution shall be considered under a closed roll with 1 hour of debate equally divided and controlled by the Committee of the Judiciary. This is essentially a sense of Congress resolution. So if you believe that the administration should release what it has available, I think this should be an easy yes vote for everybody. And I yield back my time.
Is there further discussion? Mr. Norman.
You know, I debated on this, and I agree with Austin. This isn't germane. I was surprised that you ruled that it was. This isn't this isn't the body to do this, and it'll be borne out by the legal authorities and by the public. Now, I'm voting against your resolution because you know, it'll be fine. Whatever this comes out as time goes. We haven't heard all the information.
Well, this is definitely germane, by the way.
Well, I don't think it is. No, we're talking about crypto, Jim. We're talking about crypto. We're talking about regulations of. So, I yield back.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Griffith.
If I might. Madam Chair, I understand under the very loose rules of germaneness that this House has that this technically is germane.
Thank you.
But I have championed since coming to Congress that we have stricter germaneness rules, and this is a classic example. This is not in anybody's. I understand in our rules it is germane, so I'm not disagreeing with you or with the ranking member on the way it's been done. But I have advocated that we tighten up the germaneness rules because everything in the kitchen sink can be added in, and it's my understanding the reason this is germane is because in one of the bills that we took up tonight, there's a reference to the Department of Justice. And that's sufficient to bring this in. The American people understand that that doesn't make this the proper venue, and this doesn't make this the proper time to do it. And that's why I voted no on the last one, and that's why I'll vote no on this one. Because notwithstanding the fact that it may technically, because it touches one subject area that touches one subject area that touches one subject area. I mean, under this, everything under the sun is germane to this rule. I think that's an improper way to run this place. I have felt that way for the entire time I have been here, and I would be remiss in not continuing my campaign that we should tighten up the language. If I didn't vote no on the gentleman's, it's nothing personal. It's just I feel strongly on germaneness that we've got it wrong, and we've had it wrong probably for at least 50 years, and we need to tighten it up. And so I'm voting no because whether it's technically germane or not is not the test I'm looking at. Would it meet Morgan Griffith's test of germaneness? Would it meet the Virginia House of Delegates test of germaneness? Absolutely not. It would not. And would it meet the test of germaneness in most legislative bodies in this nation, in our state legislatures and other legislatures? It would not meet the test of germaneness. Only here in the United States House does it meet the test of germaneness, and I think that's ridiculous. And
what I find ironic is how he is literally losing his mind. This Republican is losing his mind because he's sick and he doesn't even want to hear. He doesn't want to hear anything about this list, even though they have the oversight. It is within their purview. It is within their authority to release this, to talk about it, to say, hey, it's okay for the Justice Department to release the list, to release the files, and they want nothing to do with it. And even their own MAGA cult are now questioning. They're wondering, are my representatives, are they part of the deep state? Are my own representatives that I voted for, are they part of the deep state that we've been warned against this entire time? So I just love the mind. It's like you can't have it both ways. It's got to be one or the other, you know. And for the most part, I'm loving this. You know, this is what they voted for. So it's what they voted for, and let's hear some more.
I apologize, I got carried away, but I'm voting no.
Madam Chair?
Thank you, Mr. Griffith. Mr. McGovern, you're recognized.
First of all, let me respond to the gentleman. The previous measure we voted on was germane to one of the bills. This one is germane to the rule. And that you're offended that a rule contains many different topics. We have a defense appropriations bill, and we have crypto legislation. Talk about differences of topics all in one rule. So this is totally germane to the rule. And I get it. You guys are twisting yourself into knots trying to find a way to avoid dealing with this issue. And this is the kind of the lightest touch in terms of addressing the Epstein files. Basically, a sense of Congress resolution saying to the administration, explain yourself and release what you have. That's what this is. So this is germane to the rules. Absolutely. And I would urge a yes vote on this.
Is there further discussion? Ms. Scanlon, do you recognize?
Thank you. I do appreciate the ranking member pulling us back to the topic under discussion, which is whether or not, after years of saying there's stuff in the Epstein files, whether or not the Trump administration now should disclose the Epstein files, because either there's stuff in there they're covering up, or they were lying to the American public beforehand when they said there was stuff there. So I urge a yes vote on this amendment.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Any further discussion on our side? Ms. Ledger-Fernandez or Mr. Neguse?
So, Madam Chair, I'll be really quickly. I think that we have Republican staff have said this is germane. So regardless of how you feel about it, it is clear you have the power. This committee has the power to decide whether to request, demand, suggest that the Trump administration, the Department of Justice, release the files. So the question that you will be voting on, with the power that has been granted to you, is should they release the files? That is the vote you will be making as to whether it should go forward to the floor for that vote. So you, with your vote, will be preventing even the consideration of the release of the Epstein files. You will be voting against the release of the Epstein files. You have the power. Let's see how you vote.
Ms. Ledger-Fernandez, again, none of us like to be told why we are voting a certain.
So, first of all, nobody said anything about why you're voting. She just said, you have the power. I'm so sick of this goddamn app. All she said was, you have the power. And you're going to be voting yes or no on whether these files should be made to public. You have the power for this. And here she is losing her mind. She is literally condemning herself because, first of all, nobody said, we know why you're voting this way or that. They just said, you have the power. You're going to vote this way or that. And her mind is so twisted. She knows what she's doing is wrong. She knows she's in the wrong. She knows what she's doing is obscene, abhorrent. And she doesn't like her own brain condemning her for doing what she's doing. She is that twisted. Unbelievable.
Way. We do not like to be told why we are voting a certain way. You do not know our minds. You do not know our hearts. Is there further discussion on the amendment?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Neguse.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to echo the sentiments of the ranking member. I certainly support this amendment, as I supported the last amendment. I would say, just to be clear, that last vote, 4 Democrats, joined by 1 Republican, Mr. Norman, ultimately voted in favor of an amendment that would ensure the release of these files. And I think this vote provides another opportunity for our colleagues on the other side of the aisle, again, just before we cast this vote, to perhaps join Mr. Norman in voting in favor of releasing the files. And so with that, I'll be voting yes, and I hope my colleagues will do the same.
All those in favor of the motion by Mr. McGovern signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. The amendment is not agreed
That's
to.
for roll call.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Fishbach. No. Mrs. Fishbach, no. Mr. Norman. No. Mr. Norman, no. Mr. Roy. Mrs. Houchin. Mrs. Houchin, no. Mr. Langworthy. Mr. Langworthy, no. Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott, no. Mr. Griffith. Mr. Griffith, no. Mr. Jack.
No.
Mr. Jack, no. Mr. McGovern.
Aye.
Mr. McGovern, aye. Ms. Scanlon. Ms. Scanlon, aye. Mr. Neguse. Mr. Neguse, aye. Ms. Ledger-Fernandez. Ms. Ledger-Fernandez, aye. Madam Chair.
No.
Madam Chair, no.
The clerk will report the total.
4 yeas, 8 nays.
The noes have it. The amendment is not agreed to. Any further discussion or amendment? Ms. Scanlon, you're recognized.
And just like that, they voted against making public what should have been made public eons ago. They should have had this should have already been out to the public. It would have quelled all questions. It would have quelled all dissent. We would now know. But no, they couldn't even bring themselves to do that. They couldn't even bring themselves to do that. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And so I guess they're going to try to push for a vote in the House of Representatives. We'll see how that goes, if they haven't already voted already. Let's see. Have they voted on the... Has the House voted on the Epstein files? Let's do that. We've got time. Let's see. News about the House voted. Let's see. This is 5 days ago. Goodness, no, we don't want that. Full list of Republicans who blocked. Is that all we've got? This is from the 15th. Go away. We don't want you. All right. They're voting on it right now? All right, we're done with TikTok. I'm not fighting it. So let's see. House Representatives. So as of 1 hour ago, House Republicans consider vote to release Epstein files. They consider? This is the best you've got. Wow.
Resolution to release all the government files on Jeffrey Epstein. While it's largely a symbolic gesture, it comes as President Trump has tried but mostly failed to dismiss his supporters' fervent interest in the case and what it represents. ABC's senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has more.
Tonight, growing bipartisan pressure on the Trump administration to release all of the government's files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. A group of House Republicans joining Democrats pushing for a vote to compel the release. The resolution would carry no legal weight, but underscores the outrage some lawmakers are feeling from their own base. Epstein died by suicide in jail in 2019, shortly after being charged with sex trafficking and sexual abuse of underage girls. Many of Trump's allies, including his FBI Director Kash Patel and his deputy Dan Bongino, fueled Epstein conspiracies for years. Now many Republicans are demanding answers.
I don't think we're ever going to get to the bottom of anything. This town doesn't give up its secrets very easy.
Earlier this year, Attorney General Pam Bondi claimed to have Epstein's so-called client list. But then weeks ago, the Justice Department and FBI issued a memo stating the case is closed, that a systematic review revealed no incriminating client list and no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals. The backlash from some of Trump's base was intense. The president responded by lashing out at some of his own supporters.
You're stupid people. Was I a little ticked off he said that stuff? Sure I was.
Trump now
replenish electrolytes lost through sweat with extraordinary hydration.
And to request the release of grand jury transcripts related to Epstein. Some lawmakers say that doesn't go far enough.
To me, as a former prosecutor, there are times when you release things for the good of the country. This is one of those times.
Releasing grand jury records could take...
Yeah, and for the response to the chat, to be frank, Biden and Harris had 4 years. 4 years to do what exactly? Harris had 4 years to release... First of all, it was still under investigation. Why would Biden and Harris have released Department of Justice files? That would have been up to the Department of Justice, would it not? That's just so strange. And now the Department of Justice has the power to release what they have. But okay. Yeah.
Time requiring a federal judge's approval, and legal experts say the transcripts may not reveal any new details and likely cover only a small fraction of the overall testimony and evidence gathered. Alan Dershowitz, Epstein's former lawyer, says Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's convicted co-conspirator, currently serving a 20-year prison sentence, should testify before Congress.
She is the Rosetta Stone. She knows everything.
And Lindsay, as Congress continues to grapple with the Epstein controversy, President Trump is now asking Senate Majority Leader John Thune to cancel the Senate summer recess to push through his nominees, including the highly controversial appointment of one of his former personal attorneys to a lifetime federal judgeship.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't believe we're still in this. No, I didn't say for you to play. Thank you. Go away. I just can't believe we're in this position. But this is what happens. Yeah, Pam Bondi first says, "Oh, the files are on my desk. Don't worry. I'm going to be reviewing them." And the next thing then the next thing she says is, "Oh, well, they don't exist." So which is it? This is why spreading disinformation and conspiracy theories is so harmful, is because you've spread so many disinformation. You spread so much conspiracy theories and disinformation. Your own acolytes are now questioning you. They're saying, well, where are they? Where's the list? Where is the list you said existed? Even though it didn't exist in the first place. We already have a list. We have Epstein's black book. We have the flight logs. We know who was at his island. We know where the flights were going. And we know Donald Trump was on quite a few of those flights. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. Crazy. But here we are, going nowhere and getting there fast. But yeah, so the block list, I mean, basically they want this to go away. Here, look inside this light. You see this light? Look in the light. They want it. The majority of the cult that was screaming not too long ago, that was screaming at the Trump administration for not releasing the files, they're now saying, oh, well, according to the cult, we need to be focusing on other things. Why didn't the Democrats, and the talking point is, why didn't Democrats release the list? Well, there's prominent Democrats on that list too. You wouldn't want them exposed now, would you? And we're like, no, release everything. If there was impropriety, if Democrats are involved, they should be prosecuted. Look at the talking points. It is amazing. Yeah, if there's no list, why is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison? If there was no client list, or there was no, how should I say this? Maybe not a list, but if nobody was guilty of this, then why was Jeffrey Epstein sitting in prison? Unbelievable. But yeah, it's just the only name on that list is no. There, a lot of people were involved in that, not just Jeffrey. But yeah, this is who we have. We have morons running the ship. We've got morons running the. I don't know. It's just amazing to me. We've got FEMA that's been defunded, and we've got people that are still in dire straits, not getting the help they need. This is what happens. This is what happens when you elect morons. This is what happens when white Democrats stay home on election day. This is what happens when Democrats say, "Oh, I don't know about Kamala Harris. She seems a little, she just laughs a lot, and she didn't talk about my favorite issue, and blah 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 blah." Yeah, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get morons. You're going to get no flood relief. When a catastrophe hits your town, this is what you can expect to happen to. This is the kind of help you're going to get. But yeah, it's just wild to me. You know, it's like we don't pay attention. We don't listen. And we're going to get more of the same. We're going to get more of the same. You got people who don't know how government runs, and they're literally running it into the ground. Yeah, and then idiots like this, after the flooding happens, this moron thinks it's a good idea to walk around with a cross as if he's doing anything. After the flood, he walks around with a life-size cross. See how pious I am? See how dedicated to Christ I am? Nothing, not one bit of that is helping the flood victims. Oh, I'm uplifting the flood victims in prayer, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. One pair of helping hands is worth 1 million hands raised in prayer. This is not helping at all. This doesn't help at all. But no, I wanted to play that audio for you. I wanted you to see, I just wanted you to see firsthand what they're doing. You know, I wanted you to see that they're just, the incompetence is at an all-time high. There would be, 420, hey Sammy, how are you doing? There would be dozens, minimum hundreds more likely. Yeah, I agree. A lot more on that list. And we know that. We are, it's been public knowledge for 5 years now, probably more than that. But yeah, the Epstein list, Trump, Vance, Prince Andrew. Well, I don't know about Vance. I don't think he would be on the list. I mean, was he on the list? I don't know. We'll see. But I don't recall J.D. Vance being on that list. But what do I know? But basically better than half of multimillionaires and probably most billionaires. I wouldn't say that. But yeah. But we've heard testimony of some of the girls who are now adults now. And this is the crazy thing to me. A lot of these victims are they're now adults or approaching adulthood. This is how long this has just been dragging out. I mean, it's like looking at his cross is on wheels. Yeah, that's the shit. That's the funny thing. He's carrying a cross with wheels on it, just like Jesus would have. I look at that and I have to laugh. I'm like, what the fuck? Man, if only Jesus had wheels on that cross. Oh my God. Yeah, that's technically cheating. And he's wearing sneakers. Shouldn't he be barefoot and naked too? I think Jesus was stripped. Wasn't he? Wasn't he stripped, or was that... Was that before or after they lifted him up? I don't know. Yeah, I want to hear audio of him thumping, thump, 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 thump. I want to hear it thumping. If it ain't thumping, don't give me that shit. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Oh, hey, did you hear about Jennifer Love Hewitt and all of the nasty... Let's switch topics for a little bit. Let's talk about Jennifer Love Hewitt. I'm going to play a little video clip. There's no sound to it. Jennifer Love Hewitt. This was her at the premiere of I Know What You Did Last Summer. So it looks like they updated it. Like they did a reboot of the show. Yeah. This is Jennifer Love Hewitt now. And what would you think about Jennifer Love Hewitt? Yeah, I want to see the Romans whipping them. Yeah, there you go. Jennifer Love Hewitt is, I'm sorry, but she's drop dead gorgeous. Even today, she's had a couple of kids. Oh well. And look at what they had to say about her. Isabella Moody on TikTok, or not TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter. She says, she went from a hottie with a body to Fridge City. And then Atheist Girl said, said the person with a plastic face or plastic fillers, which that is basically what she is. If you look at Isabella Moody, really zoom in on that face, she looks like a Mar-a-Lago doll. And I guess we'd have to, and the unwashed ass opinion. People like Bitcoin Giant says she's fat as fuck. Look at, this is a picture of another full, plus size, full figured woman. This is what I tell you what, this is what the male epidemic, the male loneliness epidemic, this is what it looks like, folks. You want to know what male loneliness looks like? Look at these comments. I know what you did last summer. You ate a bunch of Twinkies. Yeah, she looks stunning. Absolutely. I know what you ate a lot of Twinkies. What happened to her? Still decent, needs some hike. She needs to do some hiking. This woman is thicker than a bowl of cold grits. She definitely been eating her cornbread. I mean, just a bunch of asshole men commenting on her figure. And this is why men are going to be lonely for a long, long time. And I'm talking about young men too. Yeah, someone is saying a lot of shit about her. Absolutely. Here it is. All she has to do is lose a few pounds. She's still her. I know what you ate last summer. What is that stance? So you've got these pick-me MAGA women commenting on her figure as well. It's like, you know what? All of these people that are commenting, I want to see what they look like. They should be forced to turn the camera on and let's see their physique. I don't got a physique to look at either, so I'm not throwing stones. Here's some more. I can't believe this is the same person. This moron that made this comment posted a picture of Jennifer Love Hewitt when she was 14, maybe 15. But you got to really stretch. You got to really stretch it out. There's Jennifer Love Hewitt at 15. This is what they expect her to look like at 40. Actually, she's like 45, 46. This is sick. This is what they expect. This is what they want. This is what they want women to look like. They want women to look prepubescent, and they want minors. That just gross. Absolutely gross. I don't have enough venom, or I can't say enough about people like that. Let's keep going. I know what you didn't do last summer. Exercise. Like that's the big gotcha. Oh, that's funny. Funny. You know? Unreal. Bunch of assholes. What else did they say? Let me see. I know you didn't exercise. What else? Oh, she didn't get thick in all the right places. Yeah, that's nice. That's real cute. Fuck, move over. There we go. She didn't get thick in the right spots, unfortunately. Like, what are the correct spots? What are the correct spots? Please, somebody tell me. I know what you ate last summer. Again, repeating comments as if they're hilarious. Here's the next slew of unwashed ass opinions. Oh, now I get it. When they asked who wanted seconds at dinner, she said, "Me too." Hashtag me too. Get it? And all that time I thought it was about women's protections. What the fuck happened to her? She used to be my crush growing up. Now she'd crush me. She wouldn't spit on you, boo. That thing must be twice the size. That thing. This is how they talk about actual women. That thing must be twice the size it was when it was popular and attractive. Yes? If you would have told me in the late 90s that Jennifer Love Hewitt, oh my God, I didn't even want to read the rest of it. Just ugh. Gross. Let's see. I know what she ate all summer. Why is she so fat and gross? She eating too many burgers. How my old love lay... Wow, my old love, lay off the black beans. My old love, like when did you first start loving her? I guess is... I mean, she got started when she was a child actor. Yeah, I know, right? Sammy says, why in non-existent God's name would you compare her to her 14-year-old self? My question exactly. Creepy as fuck. Exactly. As long as you don't mind me and Sammy objectified. No, don't worry about that. I'm not worried about being objectified. Who? Jennifer? Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yep. Very creepy. Women have curves. Exactly. Step. Let's see. This is why women pick the bear. Yeah, it's just... This is why men are going to, well, I should say certain men are going to just die alone. You know, because men are just, I think women are just sick and tired of our unwashed ass opinion. They're sick and tired of us just, I don't know. They're tired of our mouths. They're tired of our nasty comments. And they're just like, you know what? Fuck you guys then. Fuck you. We don't need you. But congratulations, men. This is what we get to look forward to. Women, birth rates are going to plummet. Relationships are going to plummet. And I tell you what, more and more women are dumping their boyfriends and they're divorcing their husbands because of their shit-assed opinions. Not just their opinions, but their opinions are what influence the way they act, the way they vote, how they see the world. All those things come into play. And we're going to see more and more of that. I don't know. I predict a lot of marriages are going to go downhill. Marriages are going to go downhill. The amount of people getting married, it's going to plummet. Women are getting sick and tired of our bullshit. Well, that's all I had for you today. I want to thank you so much for joining the Biblical History Skeptics podcast. So sorry that TikTok didn't work out. It just kept giving me problems, so I just said, fuck you, and away I went. Yeah, I'm not going to keep fighting it, you know? You know, if TikTok doesn't want to work, well, that's their problem. Let's see here. See if I can find the opening. Oh goodness, I can't find the opening. Well. All right. With that, I will say good night. Take care.